1,000 baby boomers a day are turning 65, and that's for the next 19 years. So get ready to explore various topics such as healthy aging, elder care, boomer and senior lifestyles, and more to keep us all moving forward on our aging journey. You're listening to Aging Info Radio, presented by Emeritus Senior Living Communities for boomers and seniors aging but not growing old.
I got a brand new pair of roller skates. You got a brand new key.
And without further ado, Aging Info Radio. And here's your host, Suzuaki.
It will make or break the best of times, a job, a company, a household, family, marriage, relationships, friendships, love, and life, and so much more. Do you know what that is? Of course you do. Welcome to Aging Info Radio, and we meet again. Happy Easter, happy day, new beginnings, happy spring, and keep in mind you can also listen to our show on the World Wide Web if you like. Just go to aginginforadio.com and right there on our homepage. Well, the longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. And why not bring your best attitude to the party, be happy, and enjoy the ride when and if all possible.
Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth.
Well, who better than my guest, Roslyn Franken, to talk about being happy and about attitude. She has overcome some of the toughest hurdles life can throw at any of us. And welcome, Roslyn, to Aging Info Radio.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
You do so much. Tell us a little bit about your background before we get into those hurdles.
Well, I'm a motivational speaker. I love speaking in front of groups, motivating people, especially that baby boomer age where we got to figure out how to live and age healthy, happy, vibrant, and confident. And I'm an author of a book called The A-List, which I promote the principles in my book. And I also do personal coaching and just love doing everything I do. And
you are inspiring people to lighten up for good.
That is my main thing, is to help people lighten up for good on how to live healthy and be happy for life, because that's really what it's about.
Yeah, I think there's so much strength that comes from that, just in, living with your life, and it doesn't always look the way you want it to or go the way you want it to, but living it with a glass that's more than half full is very important, and especially with what you went through at a very young age. And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, when I was 29 years old, the doctor told me 3 of the scariest words you can ever hear come out of a doctor's mouth when he said to me that I had cancer. Mm-hmm. Right? So needless to say, when you hear those words, especially at that age, I was sitting there, what do you mean I have cancer? I'm 29. I'm full of plans and hopes and dreams for my future. This cancer thing was not part of the plan. And like you said, things don't always go as planned. So I learned a lot of life lessons through that experience that not only helped me beat my cancer, but have helped me overcome many other obstacles that I've had to face in my life.
It's those kind of moments in life that you really do have to go with your internal resources. And, attitude comes into play so many times in our life. In fact, I remember hearing you say, I watched one of your videos, and you said I went from worrier to warrior almost overnight.
Oh, absolutely. When it first hit me of the reality of having cancer, needless to say, I was terrified. I was filled with fear and stress and worry and I think all the normal reactions. But I'll tell you that by asking myself one simple question, it literally changed my life. Can I share what that question was?
Yes, I would love to hear that question.
The question was, do I really want to go through 9 months of chemotherapy and all its ugly side effects, too many to list off here, but do I want to go through that filled with fear and stress, anxiety and worry, feeling sorry for myself, being a victim? And I realized that by asking that question, that I actually had a choice. Mm-hmm. And that was like one of the biggest lessons I learned, because we have this power of choice in every thought we have, every belief we hold, every action we take, but we forget that sometimes because we get sucked into this feeling that we don't have a choice. And I realized in that moment that no, I was not going to allow those negative emotions to rob me of the positive energy that I needed to fight my fight and beat my cancer. So, like you said, I went from worrier to warrior. I chose to go from fear to fight and from victim to victory and not look back because this was my life. This is it. And
you beat it.
I did. I'm so fortunate and so grateful for that.
I know. I also love what you say. You say a bad hair day is a good perspective.
That's right. You know, I really say there's no such thing as a bad hair day for me anymore, because when you've had no hair days, any hair day is a good hair day. It really changes your perspective on things when you go through a challenging time like that. And I'm sure anybody listening who's been through something similar can absolutely identify with what I'm talking about.
I mean, it's really the times in life that do knock you down that you have to bring everything to the party that you possibly can source, and that makes it even that much better. Now, you also talk about something called a wish eye. And explain what you mean by a wish eye.
A wish eye is somebody who goes through their life saying, oh, I wish I could lose weight and get in shape. Oh, I wish I could quit smoking. I wish I had a better relationship with my spouse. Or I wish this, I wish that. And they're really good at talking about and thinking about all the things that they wish for, but they don't do anything about it.
Like, I wish I could take action. Is that what you mean?
That's exactly. I wish I could take action. And they get stuck, and because it's so much easier and safer to just stick with the status quo. But then I have another person who I call the watch me.
Mm-hmm.
And a watch me is somebody who starts out as a wish eye, because any change you're going to make in your life, you have to start with wishing for something better. But the watch me is the person who says, you know what, I am so sick and tired of wishing, I'm going to do something about it. I am going to lick this thing. You just watch me.
Which is great. Now, another thing that I find so interesting about you, Roslyn, your strength, you know, we all learn from our parents. We learn a whole lot, but your strength came a lot from your mother and father. And tell us a little bit about their background, because you learned as a young child about strength.
Oh, absolutely, especially with my cancer experience, because when I was diagnosed with cancer, my mother was going through cancer at the same time, believe it or not. And my mother was not just a cancer survivor, she was also a Holocaust survivor. So I grew up with a mother who as a young teenager was in the Nazi concentration camps in Nazi Germany, where she lost both her parents, 2 brothers and a sister. And at that time, in 1983, all these years later, at age 56, when she was told that she had cancer, it would have been so easy for her to be a victim. After all the horrors of what she went through at such a young age, sure, she could have been a victim. But instead, she said to the doctor, now imagine this, she pointed to the tattoo number on her arm from the camps, and she said, Hitler didn't get me, my cancer won't get me, I have too much to live for.
Now that's strength. Now, your father's also a strong-willed man here.
Oh, you know, like having a mother like that is one thing, and then on top of that, having a father who survived the atomic bomb in Nagasaki, Japan. My dad was a prisoner of war by the Japanese for 3.5 years during World War II. To me, it's a miracle that I'm even talking to you today. What they went through, what they endured, what they had to overcome, and to still be positive people and rebuild their lives and regain their health and put it all together and be that strong and resilient. Talk about having incredible role models. That's why I do what I do, because we need to be resilient in this lifetime. Life isn't always easy, and we need to find that strength inside us. And you look at people like my parents who have gone through such hardship,
Absolutely. I definitely concur there, Roslyn. I really do think that attitude is so important. I mean, whatever way you want to go down the path, if you want to choose this way or that way, attitude will make it or break it. And as you said, really go from victim to victor in all the dealings that we come up against.
Oh, absolutely. Attitude is everything. And especially with the premise of your show, it's never too late to change your attitude. It's never too late to look at what attitudes that you might have that you don't even realize that you have that are holding you back from living the healthiest, happiest life that you can, so that you can age gracefully.
And love the journey. Well, we're going to talk more about the attitude that we all have, and can it truly change, or can we truly change our attitudes, coming up next. And we're also going to hear about Roslyn's book, The A-List, and that's 9 guiding principles for healthy eating and positive living, right here on Aging Info Radio. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Wherever you live, you want to feel connected and cared for, and that's the environment we create every day at Emeritus at Burr Ridge, one of Chicagoland's highest-rated senior living communities. Our community offers a full range of services from assisted living to skilled nursing. We also offer one of the most successful short-term rehab programs in the area. And now, for a limited time, we are offering value-price suites, Emeritus Senior Living, where our family is committed to yours. Give them a call at 630-920-2900 or visit us at emeritus.com. Stop in and take a tour.
Get it together before it falls apart with the Care Connector Healthcare Binder from Partners in Senior Care. The Care Connector Binder helps you assemble all healthcare information in one simple format. The Care Connector provides peace of mind by keeping all essential medical information accessible at times when you need it most, such as doctor appointments or during times of crisis. Order yours today at partnersinseniorcare.com or call us at 847-548-1330. That's 847-548-1330. Or visit us at partnersinseniorcare.com.
What if you could do something today that would make you feel better tomorrow? What if you could wipe your emotional slate clean of past experiences? What if you can end depression, anxiety, pain, old traumas and injuries, sleeplessness, and conditions others couldn't help? What if it took less than 30 minutes in one sitting? Well, Emotional Liposuction can. Act today and feel better tomorrow. Visit emotionalliposuction.com and dump your junk and move on with your life. All this starts at emotionalliposuction.com. Get your smile back at emotionalliposuction.com.
Antioxidants. Everyone wants to get the highest levels. Now the truth, there are 220 natural antioxidants. It is believed that tart cherries contain a group of antioxidants that when used regularly will affect your health. Research the benefits of Nature Blessed Tart Cherry Concentrate at ChooseCherries.com or AgingInfoRadio.com to learn more about Nature Blessed. It works, it's real, it's 100% natural, and it's locally grown. Drink the best, drink Nature Blessed.
And now, back to Aging Info Radio for boomers and seniors aging, but not growing old.
My guest today, Roslyn Franken, is inspiring people to lighten up for good. We're talking about attitude and new beginnings. It is springtime, a beautiful day today, and a happy Easter to all of you. Roslyn, can people truly change their attitudes? Do you think that this is daily practice, or is it something that, people are kind of born into that, being a positive person? What do you see here?
I truly believe, through my own experience and through having helped many, many others with the coaching that I do, absolutely people can change their attitudes. I do believe some people maybe have a higher barometer for positivity, and other people have to work a little harder. But absolutely, people have the ability to change their attitudes, and first of all, they can't really change their attitudes if they're not aware of what those attitudes are that are holding them back. Because there are certain attitudes that create what I call self-inflicted stress, that are self-sabotaging, and there are other attitudes that allow us to support us.
So I would think that people need to ask themselves that question: is there something that I'm doing to self-sabotage an area of my life or my life?
Absolutely. And the problem is that most people are unaware because we live in such a fast-paced society. Things are changing all the time. People, I find today, are so busy running around like chickens with their heads cut off.
Mm-hmm.
We're jumping from task to task, behaving like machines, trying to get everything done. We've got our endless to-do list, problems to solve. People, especially women, tend to, they want to do it all, be it all, have it all, and we're neglecting the things that are most important and meaningful, like our attitudes, our health, our relationships, and our overall sense of well-being and self-worth. These are things that we don't always pay attention to because we're just so caught up in day-to-day life. So to change your attitudes and to become aware of them, and awareness being one of my 8 principles, people really need to slow down and wake up and take notice of what it is that they're doing so that they can change it. If you're not aware, you can't change it.
Yeah, I think you just nailed it on the head there. Multitasking machines, that's how people are operating because of all the technology available. And, you answer this and you respond to that and you just constantly are reacting to it. I mean, you're not really even aware of the people around you. I mean, you go into public places and everybody's kind of isolated in their own little techno world. Do you see that?
Oh, absolutely. And it's funny because you think like technology is supposed to help us and it's supposed to save us time and be able to do things more easily. But what do we do with any time that it saves us? We just fill that time with more stuff to do. So, is it really helping?
Yeah, you kind of wonder. I think it's a lot less complicated. Now, what else can people do to lighten up for good? What are some of your tips here to stay healthy and be happy for life?
Well, people tend to focus on what's missing in their lives, right? They're so busy saying, I'll be happy when I achieve this, when I have this, I'll be happy when I lose the weight, I'll be happy when I'm married, I'll be happy when I have kids. They're always putting off their happiness to some future, it has to be matched up with some future goal that they're trying to achieve. And people forget to be happy in the moment. Everybody's so busy wanting more and more. And sometimes we have to stop and look around and say, be happy with what you have.
Yeah.
I was reading somewhere where it said that in North America, we have more stuff and throw away more stuff than most people on this planet will ever have in their lifetime, and yet we have some of the most unhappiest people on antidepressants and people who are unhappy. And we have so much here that we're so blessed in so many ways that we forget to look at that, again, because we're so busy focusing on everything that perhaps is missing from our lives or that we want more of. And sometimes just stop and say, like, you know what? Look at the good things that I do have.
Or enjoy the day. Enjoy the people that you're with. Put your technology away. I say no tweeting when you're greeting. You either be with the person or you be on your technology. Don't try to do both. You're really ripping yourself off. And once again, you're going back to being a multitasking machine, which really doesn't, it's not fulfilling for an individual. At the end of the day, you think, what? I was with somebody, but we really didn't connect.
Well, you know what? There's a wonderful thing that I was reading about a palliative care nurse who interviewed people as they were dying and asked them, what are your biggest regrets now that you're at the end of your life? And one of the biggest regrets that people said they had was, I wish I'd given myself permission to be happier.
Interesting.
And that just, I think about that and how I live my life and why I do what I do is because I don't want to have that regret at the end of my life. And if people listening don't want to have that regret at the end of their life, they have to start looking at how they're living their lives today. And that's what learning how to lighten up for good is all about.
Now, that is your website, lightenupforgood.com. And I want to talk about your book, The A-List, 9 Guiding Principles for Healthy Eating and Positive Living. Tell us about your book.
Well, the book came out of two life-changing experiences for me. One was the cancer experience, and the other one was 10 years after beating cancer, getting on the scale one day and realizing that I was at my heaviest weight ever. I was overweight and growing and standing there on the scale and going, this makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
My mother had passed away from cancer just a few months before. My dad had quintuple bypass surgery. I'd already lost my health to cancer. What in the world was I waiting for? What else needed to happen to kick me into action? And I also have a master's degree in something called Human Systems Intervention, which is a study of how people self-learn and change. And I'm a certified coach, and here I am wanting to go out in the world to help people understand themselves better, set goals, and achieve goals, and here I am, overweight and growing. Talk about the pot calling the kettle black, you know?
Yeah.
And I said, with all this knowledge I have on how to self-learn and change, what if I was to apply this to my own healthy eating habits, my weight issues, and my own attitude issues?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how those principles were born. And I practiced them on myself, and I started coaching other people on them. And with all the success that I was having, I said, I got to put this in a book.
Yes.
And that's how the book came to life. And it's called The A-List because there's 9 principles that all start with the letter A, hence the name The A-List. And these principles are all designed to help people create permanent and positive changes in their life. It's not a quick fix. It's not a Band-Aid solution. It is looking at really creating meaningful and positive change in your life.
Yeah, it's also on audio, correct?
Yes.
Which also makes it great. Is your book sold on Amazon?
The book is sold on Amazon, not the audiobook. The audiobook's only available from my website.
From lightenupforgood.com. You're also a public speaker, and I'm sure you're inspiring people all over to lighten up for good. How does somebody get in touch with you if they want to bring you in to speak to a group?
The best way is to go to my website at Lighten Up for Good, and I have a page there for speaking. There's a little link that says a request form that they fill out, and then I will personally get in touch and work out all the details. And they can also call me. I have a contact form page there, and that is really the best way.
To live healthy, be happy, and for life there, right?
Absolutely. That's, to me, what Lighten Up for Good is. It's about physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, just to lighten up, to learn how to be kinder to ourselves.
And other people. Absolutely. You know, your book sounds so interesting, and I take it it's one of these books that you would refer back to.
Absolutely, and it has sections that are in a workbook style, so there are questions, and people love that because it actually gets you to be able to apply what's in the book to your own personal circumstances. Because when you're trying to change something in your life, it's a personal journey. It's not a one-size-fits-all, and you need to figure out how to take what's there and transfer it to your own life. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, Roslyn, you just said it. It is a journey. It's all work in progress. Well, thank you so much, Roslyn Franken, for joining me today on Aging Info Radio. And her website, once again, is Lighten Up